In today's video, how to finally see those damn abs. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, I got a great question from my Instagram direct message right here on the screen, and I actually chatted with this gentleman about his question. So what we're gonna talk about today is a situation where you've lost a lot of body fat, and you probably had a goal to lose a lot of body fat. But at the end of that goal rainbow, you thought, I'm gonna see a shiny, shredded six-pack, and it's gonna be glorious. So we're gonna talk about why you may or may not see that, and what we can do to make sure it actually does happen. And if you like this type of information around how to get the physique of your dreams from a physique expert, hit subscribe. You make my day. I lost close to 30 pounds and went from 182 to 152 over the course of 6 months when I started working out consistently, and realized when I got low body fat, I still could not see my abs. Would this be from not having enough base muscle, or do I need to lose more body fat? Attached are 2 photos that can share examples. Thanks in advance. Well, I want to address this issue because it's becoming very, very common. I'm getting a lot of questions about, you know, I've lost a lot of weight and I'm still not at the physique that I kind of pictured myself at along the way. And this happens for a few reasons. First of all, understanding that ab muscles, while they are the focus for a lot of what we do, because, well, I mean, honestly, they're very difficult to get. You know, you don't see a lot of people walking around at the beach, let alone in the world, with abs. But I can even tell you this, like, I have a lot of bodybuilder friends that the only time they really have abs is right before stage, right? So getting and keeping an abdominal visible six-pack shredded abs is something that for many people it's a choice. It's a choice about, okay, maybe I'm going to use myself to market these abs, maybe I'm going to use my abs to kind of help build my business, or just show that I know how to do it. But the people that I find that have the best visible cores are the people that train in such a manner that it's almost required. And the people that I see consistently that have this are people that are doing like really intense like work. When I see someone that does like the CrossFit games, their training is set up in such a manner that they have to do high endurance, also high weight, and they have to kind of blend those two. And that's where you really get some great visible six packs. And, you know, also if you want to talk about like NBA players, you know, I know you guys don't probably see a lot of NBA players with their shirts off, but I grew up playing basketball, and believe me, at the park on the weekends, just about everybody's got a six pack. Why? Because you're sprinting up and down a basketball court, and you're also jumping, you're engaging your core all the time. So I've always had abs. I had abs from the time, you know, I was in middle school to high school. The reason being I was playing sports all the time. Now, I never set out to have abs. I mean, I almost laugh thinking about how many ab workouts I did growing up. I played college baseball. I played basketball for many years in tournaments, and, you know, on summers, and even beach volleyball. So I just always had like an engaged six pack. And I think most of it comes down to the fact that I was just an athlete, right? So if you're someone who doesn't have an athletic background, you need to get in the gym. Now, I don't play baseball anymore. I hardly ever play basketball. Heck, I don't play volleyball. I don't do any of those things anymore. So how do I keep my abs? Now I train them. And I'll write below, I've done a couple videos on ab training. So first things first, the old adage is that, you know, abs are made in the kitchen. And I get the point of that. It's like, okay, you're not gonna ever really see your abs until, well, you get the fat off. The fat is gonna come off because your diet is in check, absolutely. But there is such a thing as skinny fat. Like, it's a very common thing where people lose a lot of body fat, but they still don't look like they lift weights or that they've lost any weight. That can be a bit disheartening. And this is why I try to tell people, lift weights, resistance train, even when you're losing fat. Even if the scale goes a little bit slower, the body composition is just gonna end up so much better. So let's talk about how to train the abs. Understanding that the abdominal muscles are a chain of muscles. It's not just the muscles that, you know, the six pack, the rectus abdominis, the muscles that, you know, get all the glory. We also have the transverse abdominis, you have obliques, you have muscles that are also there to stabilize the core. And so what I'm gonna write down below is a workout routine that I like to use for the core a couple times a week. And if you're not doing anything else other than training your abs and maybe doing some resistance training, you know, things like sprinting outside, playing sports, anything that engages the abs, those are wonderful addition as well. But yes, it's possible. And, you know, looking at your pictures, and I'll put his picture in here, his before and after. And so you'll see here in the before picture in the side profile, a little bit of a belly, a little bit, you know, a little bit. I think that we would call that like a dad bod, in pretty good shape overall. To think that you lost 30 pounds, incredible, amazing work. And then here's the after picture. And if you look at the after picture, profile has changed completely, right? But there is still some visible lower abdominal fat. And this is what I meant by you have to kind of be willing to go through like a lifestyle change to get to that shredded six pack. For me, the six pack is great for a few things. When I'm competing on stage, absolutely. I'll probably put some pictures, videos in here of me either on stage or at stage condition so you can kind of see how that looks. But understand that for me, that's 200 pounds and below at 6'3". But I like to walk around at about 215 pounds, right? That's where I feel like this. I can see some separation in my muscles, but you know, if I had to show you my abs right now, let's see. I mean, I got a little bit going on here, but the shreddedness, right? That chiseled, like etched in core that gets a lot of attention. For me, that's when I start to get a little bit uncomfortable. My gym performance starts to suffer a little bit, but I do it for a purpose. I get on stage and I compete, or I get some pictures taken, or I'll get a bunch of content around that time so that I can use it for thumbnails, for YouTube videos, and talk about those kind of things. So understanding that, you know, most fitness professionals aren't maintaining that year round, and those that do have just set their life up in such a way that it's easier for them to maintain that. You know, they probably have a really good routine based around their personal fitness, not based around you know, going out and doing crazy stuff all the time. So it's about finding your balance. Can it be done? Absolutely. It can absolutely be done. Does it take sacrifice? Absolutely. Okay. And then there's probably the 0.0001% DK Metcalf, you know, Bo Jackson, you know, freak athletes out there that they just shred it all the time, right? And even Bo Jackson's put on some weight now, but he's quite a bit older. But my point being is that there are some anomalies out there, and if you focus on those anomalies, you're always going to suffer in comparison. So you always have to compare yourself to yourself. So we've talked about fat loss and how fat loss works, and now that you've lost 30 pounds, it's probably a good time for you to maintain for a little while. I would maintain this body composition. Now you might gain or lose weight, but if you can maintain this body composition simply by bringing food up, bringing cardio down, getting into a good resistance training program, focus on strength, focus on recovery. I just uploaded a free push-pull legs program onto prophysique.com. It's free for you guys, and I also have I have tons of free stuff for you guys. Just go over there and check it out. But my point being, get into a place where you're actually putting on some muscle, building some strength, train the core. You know, I would start twice a week, max out at about 3 times a week where you're doing direct kind of ab recruitment. Remember, they are muscles, they do need to recover, but you can train the abs to actually expand. And so abdominal muscles, you know, they're on the ab wall. You can actually thicken them up a little bit, especially the rectus abdominis, the obliques. Those things really show up when you get the fat off, but if you don't have them protruding, well, it's gonna mean you're gonna have to get extra lean to get them off. And then, you know, you're probably gonna be wearing a t-shirt and people are gonna start saying, well, hey, you just look skinny. So it all comes down to getting your body fat right? And so body fat, as I've discussed many times, comes off in a predetermined manner that your body has determined is going to happen, right? It's genetically predispositioned. So what happens is we lose body fat like we're taking water out of a pool, right? And typically you can't get the water out of the bottom of the pool, right? Because if you take the water out of the bottom of the pool, the water level just drops. You've got to get the water level or the body fat level to drop all the way down to the bottom of the pool. Unfortunately, for most of us, that is just reality. And sometimes getting down to that level means sacrificing things you don't want to sacrifice, and I completely understand. But as I've said before, shredded for me, it's much easier than it used to be. Why? Because I've cut out a lot of the noise in my life. My routines are so good. I understand things on such a high level. So for me, my physique, my body composition is a choice. I choose to be here. I choose to get shredded. I choose to get heavier. I can manipulate myself however I want based on what my goals are, right? I'm probably gonna do a bodybuilding show next year, so I'm already got the wheels spinning. You have this goal of showing your abs, so the wheels are spinning. So I would spend time in a maintenance phase, meaning your calories are up at a good place where your energy is good, you're training to build some muscle, and then if I had to guess, I'd say you probably need to lose another 10 pounds to get that rock hard core, right? So spend 2-3 months maintaining here, eating well, training hard, and then you spend the last, 4 or 5 weeks getting that last 10 pounds off, and then you're gonna see the real magic. And the real fun is when fat has come off the first 30 pounds, it kind of comes off pretty evenly, right? There's not this huge shift. The last bit of fat that comes off, every single pound, you're gonna notice a new line, a new detail. It's what makes getting on a bodybuilding stage, the end of prep, it makes it enjoyable, because you literally see your hard work being revealed every single day, every single week, the last part of prep. It makes it exciting. So yeah, there's these weird psychological battles that we go through. Sure, your clothes are gonna be looser, people are gonna think you're skinnier, but at the same time, you're gonna be going in the gym, you're gonna probably start wearing more tank tops, and you're gonna notice like, wow, I didn't see this separation in my delt wasn't here last week. It literally happens every single week when you get to that last little bit of body fat, right? So that's it, man. You got a little bit of ways to go to see those abs, build them up a little bit. I put a little workout in the description box below for you. Got a free push-pull program, and ultimately, I'd say maintain for a little bit and then just get the last few pounds of fat off. If you can't do hanging leg raises, if you can't do decline sit-ups, you know, if you can't do some weighted cable pulls, if you can't do those things, then you need to build up that core strength to do that. Or if you like doing anything else, you know, something outside, if you like running sprints, if you like doing things that engage the core, find that bliss that you have. And have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.